Our goal is to build $1 million home without spending $1 million. Dusty and RC here, and we are DIY building our own timber frame home. So you want to know if DIY building your home is worth it? Well, we have no intention of selling anytime soon. We believe we will eventually make some serious money here. So let's get started. We're breaking our build down into 4 different buckets. The purchase price of our land, the site prep permits and plans, we're going to call those mandatory expenses, garage and apartment build, then the home build. We purchased 34 acres just 20 minutes outside of Indianapolis for $300,000 in March of 2020. Our driveway is over 1,800 feet long. We really wanted to be back off of the road, so that estimate came in at $40,000. Apparently money grows on trees on these 34 acres. Due to the size of our house and some poor soil drainage, we had to do a Presby septic system, which comes in at a whopping $22,000. That's some expensive shit if you ask me. Did you see what I did there? Our well ended up at $10,000. Our power, we actually ended up having a pretty good deal because they were burying the lines in our area. They ran those lines for us largely for free, and that ended up costing about $1,500. And then permits and inspections, we're estimating that that will be less than $500. And then our plans for the garage and apartment were $500, and the home plans are actually included in the cost of the home kit. Listen, at this point, we're still planning on contracting out this build. So when the estimate came back for the garage and the apartment at over $231,000, we were like, what the? Those of you just joining us, we did decide to purchase a home kit from Timberland Group. And it's important to note that we ordered our package pre-pandemic. Pricing and configurations have since changed. Please visit their website to see what their current offerings are. We decided to go with the Rushmore, which is an 1,800 square foot timber frame, single slope modern farmhouse. We just love it. This includes the shell of the home. It's the framing and sheathing and timbers, no windows or doors. It does include the roof minus the finished roofing materials, and we did upgrade the insulation on our roof. Now, we live in Indiana, and while I've never seen a tornado, I have a healthy fear of them. A basement was a must, so we added the girder system to our home kit. After adding and removing some options, our total price with delivery came out to $110,000. And so far, without even having the house put together, we are at over $700,000 in expenses. At this stage, we began reaching out to contractors to get bids to build the home. And we noticed a few trends. One, very few of them called us back. And if they did call us back, they didn't have experience with timber frame homes and were a little leery of making the bid. And if they were willing to make the bid, they were pretty honest in saying they didn't know when they'd have the resources to get the work done. We found ourselves in a real quandary. We have land, we have a home kit, we do not have a builder. Fortunately, RC and I are no strangers to DIY, and if you saw our intro, we've been remodeling homes for the last 10 years. We thought, hey, we could do this. We know that the market value for this home, once it's completed, will be $850,000 to $1 million. We know that the land, the mandatory expenses, the kit are fixed costs. The garage build, we would simply back out the labor to determine the budget. So if we total all those items up, $645,000. So on the low end, if we know we're going to sell the home for $850,000, that leaves about $200,000 to finish the home. The top end of the budget at $1 million, that gives us about $350,000. We know we have to be mindful of expenses during this build to be able to achieve these, but we have to be careful to not cut corners so that we can really press for that $1 million valuation. If we can do this DIY build and not overspend, it will certainly be worth it. And so far, we've completed the garage build and we only spent $150,000. That's $120,000 savings from our original quote. So we know we can do it. As we post new videos, we'll keep you up to date on the budget wins and the budget busters. Be sure to subscribe to see how the budget and build unfold. Okay, you've spent over $800,000 building your own home with no home building experience. Go.
Seems like an astronomical number. It's ridiculous.
to take on.
I want to vomit.
To take on.
Seems absurd.
Maybe you should have thought about
researched a little more.